Good evening. This is Carrie Moore. I'm doing my project for Criminal Justice 410 Community Policing for Lori Battle. I have chosen to do my project entitled Community Policing and Reentry of Offenders into Society. What resources are available? Reentry services. The mission of reentry services is to establish effective methods that permeate all levels of affected agencies and organizations to reduce recidivism through collaborative partnerships that support offender placement into evidence-based interventions and continue through offender transitions to the community. Before reentering into society, it is mandated by the state of Georgia that all offenders attend a reentry class. There is a reentry book available on the Georgia Department of Corrections website. This reentry booklet is updated yearly. There are employment opportunities in the transitional centers. Transitional centers are opportunities for inmates to receive skills that will be beneficial to their transition back into society. There are currently 2 female transition centers in the state of Georgia. Occupants of transitional centers are called residents and must meet strict guidelines per standard operating procedures before they are placed into the program. There are currently 3 phases in the transition center that a resident must go through before they are paroled out. Phase 1 is 30 days and is assigned to doing 140 hours of community service and memorizing the center's mission statement. If they complete this, they go up for reclassification, and they're classified as a Phase 2. Phase 2 is a working phase, and the offender must maintain steady employment. Phase 3, the offender has shown that they can maintain a job in public, and they have money to transition back into society. These transition centers also offer mental health services. Avita is the contracted mental health facility where residents go and get their treatment plans for their illness. This facility is in the community and is to be a part of the residents' continued care once released. Avita coordinates treatments with the mental health staff located at the transitional center. The Department of Labor is also an active member of our reentry services. The Department of Labor Office has coordinated a combined effort to help get all residents into their database so the transition into society can be an easier one once they are released. The Department of Labor representatives comes once a month to the transition center and gives classes on resumes, professional dress, conduct, and how to interview. This class is in conjunction to the reentry class that is taught at the facility. Employment. Each transitional center in the state has an employment coordinator. Their only job and sole purpose is to help residents gain and maintain employment. Each employer in the community that hires a resident gets a tax break at tax time for the equivalent of $2,400. Employment within the community is vital to the success of each resident. Many residents choose to keep their positions once they are released. And for many residents, this is the first time that they have ever been employed in their lives. So they're also gaining all of the skills necessary to be functional in our communities. We also have counseling services. Each resident is assigned to a counselor to help them with the adjustments from being a prisoner to a resident. Counselors will take residents into the community and help with living arrangements if needed. Counselors also prepare parole plans for each resident, and this is needed before she can be paroled into the community. The ultimate goal for each resident has the ultimate goal of being able to transition back into society and be an asset to their community. Each resident will leave with a knowledge of how to gain employment, how to write a resume, and how to budget their money. And each resident also knows what resources are available in the community for their usage. Our end results are, with a collaboration between the community and Georgia Department of Corrections, each resident will learn to become a valuable member of society and be able to transition seamlessly. The more educated and prepared a person is to transition back into our community, the better chance they have of not making the wrong choices and ending up being incarcerated again. As a side note, I actually teach our reentry class within our transitional center. We do mock interviews, we do resumes, and we also have a center in our within our center that is set up with computers so our residents can learn how to write resumes and practice them. And they also practice interviewing questions, and we also talk about how to properly dress for each interview, how you want to dress one level above what you're interviewing for. So our residents are properly prepared whenever they are released back into society. And this is always in a conjunction within the community and within our department, so these girls have a better chance of becoming something when they get out. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and have a good evening.